Hi, everybody. It's Independence Day for you Americans, and for people who know me, it's my birthday today, so I have my hat on. I'd just like to do a quick one or two notes about trilling in general. So, this is on page 20 of the method book, and what I would like to begin with, actually, this is not in the book, but it's a way that we should be conceiving trills in general is that a trill is not simply an alternation of two notes. It's actually more than that. Think of a trill as an expressive device which manifests itself as an alternation of two notes. Okay, so now the priority of a trill is that it's expressive, and you're going to use that direction. Um, you're going to use your judgment or your taste to define how you execute a trill. However, there are some rules here which OZ points to. So let's go into the bottom left hand quadrant, page 20. And essentially, what he's saying is that if you have notes which are ascending or descending, which is like in the bottom section here, he's basically just writing out the same thing but in going downwards. He's saying you have to execute those trills in a specific way. So the top line here is written out in the way that you would find the printed music, and then the way that he plays it is here. Don't approach this metronomically. The most useful thing here to point out is that the little tail that he's written here is executed a little bit faster than the trill is, possibly. And the second thing is that you, in this ascending scale, articulate the principal note first. So you begin the trill a little bit longer than how the trill wobbles or shakes. You begin it on the principal note, and then you begin to shake. A shake is an old English word for trilling. So yeah, and I find that actually quite a good verb. Anyway, so what happens if you're not doing a descending or ascending scale? What happens if you want to arrive on the trill by a jump? And so what I have here is what happens if you've got a G and then you jump to the D, which is trilling? Well, in this case, OZ says you have to begin the trill on the upper note, right? So, bom, dee, that's important. So most in the caprices, most of the trills we do, we actually arrive on the note that we trill on from a leap of some kind. And so therefore, most of the time when we make a trill, we're actually going to be starting on the top note. Now, of course, use your taste, use your judgment here, but the rule is this. And if you decide to break the rule, then now you are conscious that you're breaking the rule, right? Also interesting to note is that what happens if you re-articulate the same note and that note is preceded by a jump. So you have G, D, D, but actually on the beat, on the trill beat, you begin on the upper note. Dum, dum, dee, Also important to note here is that he gives no indication that the trill begins before the beat ever. So what I'm hearing also in my own recordings, it's very hard to do, especially in very small circumstances where you have a trill on a very short note. But what I'm hearing at the moment is a little bit of where if you were to tap the metronome and you're going a bit ba da dee da da dum bum da da dee da da da. So the trill comes a little bit before the beat. Sorry, this is really like imprecise, but you get the idea. So it should be more da da dee da da dim bum rather than da da dee da da dim. But it's actually incredibly difficult to execute that on the beat. So there's a decision that has to be made in that case. So either you try to execute the trill always on the beat, or you find a solution there. Important to note also that when he has what we would use as an indication for a mordant or a battement, he uses to indicate a turn. So if you see something which should be for us daya or da, he's using that articulation, that ornament indication for something else. So keep that in mind. This is the kind of mordant indication. I'm missing a word here. That's actually a turn. Also interesting here is that when you have a trill in the middle of a group of three, it means something completely different. And that this would be something worth actually doing as an exercise if you wanted to play that, because this is it looks very complicated actually, because it's not simply a turn, it's both a trill and a turn at the same time. Great. Well, I hope you have a nice weekend and happy practicing. Bye-bye.